yeah, I bet. Yeah, right.
I suppose we could call Rob if he doesn't call in before we...
You're live.
Okay.
Is Jess going to make it tonight?
No.
No, she's flying. Rob was going to
Oh,
call in.
I did see it. I looked at it and go, oh, but Dwight was like,
Oh, yeah, it was.
because that was pretty steep.
I'm getting better at it.
Oh.
All right, we'll call the meeting to order. We have, I think we're going to call Rob. He said he might be available on phone, so we have a quorum. I hadn't heard from Seth. Had anybody else heard from Seth?
I just texted him though.
Okay. Okay, is there any public comment that's not on the agenda? Okay, so we want to take advantage of having Debbie here, and there was a question from Dwight to Debbie, if I have that right. So yeah, let's fire away on that.
Let's just get it out of the way, you bet.
Okay. Dwight Thompson, airport manager. I'd asked Adam to bring me up regarding 8U9 grant application that I'm working on, and I wanted to get our commissioner's input while she's still here because she has to leave. She has to leave early. So, as you know, we've been working on an application for 8U9 for material gravel or some type of dust compound or whatever. And last year we pulled our application out because we really didn't have any county. We had support, but we didn't have any support on paper of what they may be able to do to help us with funding some of that project. That application is coming due here, and I wanted to get it submitted. So I wanted to ask the board and the commission what we can put on the table to show that we have some support from the board or from the commission. So I'm not sure how to ask that. Need more money. And I thought I had that off.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to get Debbie's input while she's here before she had to leave of how to proceed, because that's due, it's coming due.
Something I think that you probably understand, being out there working around that field and that runway. I think if we have something like 2 or 3 inches of road mix, I think it may help that larger gravel stop it from working its way up. It'll be a cushion on top.
Yeah, I agree. You know, we've looked at full material for the whole runway, or just recently, maybe going down the center, or even just in the landing zones, landing areas. That's where it's the most tore up. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that we had I guess had assumed was that the county would supply the manpower and the equipment as their in-kind donation to the project. But I don't have anything in writing. I don't know how to put that on an application when I don't really have it in writing or the go-ahead from the board or the commission.
Have we had this discussion with TJ that you know?
Okay, so yeah, TJ has been getting me the gravel numbers and stuff, but I haven't actually. I thought that maybe had you talked to him about supplying manpower or equipment?
Oh, overall, yes.
Yeah, overall.
Not associated with this grant, so I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a timing thing,
Yeah.
but I'm sure with enough notice.
So is it safe to say I can add that in the grant application?
I would think.
And what we should do is talk to TJ and kind of see the plan, and he'll know how many hours about, and then we'll put a value on that, and that will count as in-kind, help the match. Is there a dollar match to the grant? Do you know? Is there a percentage?
Sometimes they're 100%, sometimes they're a percentage. You never know until you receive it.
I think if we just show good faith that we have something to offer, I think it'll fly.
So in the grant application, it doesn't say 10%
Well, I think if we could put a dollar amount to it, it might add, a little bit more teeth to it.
In other words, get a quote from TJ on what it'll cost the county for them to do that portion of the work,
Okay, yeah,
right?
yep,
And I would consider the whole runway and probably 3 or 4 inches of road mix. You gotta roll it, you gotta spread it and roll it and so on and so forth. I mean, you might as well make, if we get the grant for what, that's what we wanna do if we get a big enough grant.
Yeah.
So let's make sure we have our cards all lined up.
well, I just, thank you for your time, I just wanted to include, Commissioner here.
Sure.
So that she can take this back to the people and get it back to
Bet.
us.
One more question, what's the grant due?
So it's a Montana State Aeronautics Grant, and it's funded by some fuel taxes and registrations from pilots. It's kind of unusual how this grant is funded. It's funded mostly from the bigger towns, and the smaller airports kind of get it. They tend to fund airports that are not FAA funded. So like the Townsend Airport was, but the Canyon Ferry is not. So they tend to look out and try to help out those smaller airports. So they would probably make up the majority of buying the material. I think it's safe to say.
One more question, sorry. When is the grant due? How quickly do we have to move on this?
I'd like to have it in by this time next month. I think it's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think they actually meet on it in November, but they wanna look over what they're gonna be meeting.
So if I wait till next month, then we're kind of pushing it a little bit. So I know I've been kind of throwing this out every once in a while, but I guess I'd just like to get a kind of the hammer down to proceed if we wanted
Yep.
to.
Did you say you'd like to have it in by next time, next month, this time?
Yeah, I would like to. Yeah.
About the middle of next month.
Yeah, that gives TJ some time to get in. And he's researched these numbers a couple times for us on different things.
I
So,
probably got a
yeah.
cubby hold.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll proceed on the application then.
Excellent, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Has anyone not had a chance to read last month's minutes? And are there any changes? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. We have financial report and claims, please.
Yes. So, Mr. Chairman, in your cash account, you have 55,543.54. 55,543.54. And then in your cash account, you have 730,243.34. 730,243.34.
Did you mean to say cash account on the second one?
CIP.
CIP, thank
Sorry,
you.
CIP. It says cash on it, but you're right. Thank you for the clarification. CIP.
What's it called? What was it called?
CIP.
CIP. I'm assuming that.
Capital improvement.
Yeah, those bills are going to be coming in.
Yep.
And then I have one claim when you're ready.
Fire away.
Okay, so it was for Big B Ready Mix for the cement for 300.
That was for tie downs at 8 Uniform 9?
No, that was for the windsock.
Oh, yeah. Do we have a motion to approve the claim?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of approving the claim, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the construction update from Lance and Robert Pescia and Associates. He is not going to be meeting with us tonight. There's been emails going around. I will attempt to give you a synopsis, but the airport opened on September 4th, so we've been open exactly 2 2 weeks, 14 days now. The airport is actually closed as of 11 a.m. this morning. They're doing some bump grinding and a few other things that I don't.
Final paint.
Final paint. Okay, so they had to wait for the pavement to cure to do final paint. So it's closed until 5 p.m. tomorrow, but otherwise it's open with a couple little punch list items that he's still working on. They're going to seed sometime in October with a drill, repick some rock. There was a couple little dirt work items, real nitpicky stuff. We went out and all met out there, last 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. Anyways, absolutely beautiful. Very impressed with the work they did, and I think everybody's real darn excited about the way they did that.
I'm Matt Nelson, and I'm writing for the 43 paper, and I talked to Dwight. Pardon me for interrupting, but
Probably want to come up to the speaker. Up here to the speaker, Matt. See the microphone?
I don't know how to use that.
Just talk into it, that's all you gotta do.
Who you are.
Okay, I'm Matt Nelson. I work for writing for the 43 paper. I used to be a pilot, and I got to go up with Chris yesterday, so that's fantastic. What I would like to know, if you guys don't mind, I'm not going to stay here for the whole board meeting, but you can give me a little bit of something I could write about the airport being reopened.
Okay, and that's something we can provide in writing. Probably won't do it verbally here, so we're happy to do that.
Okay. All right, then, yeah, if we could do that, then, Dwight, you have my email, don't you? Yeah, Bob does, I think so. Anyway, good seeing you, Bob. All right, well, then I'll just let it go with that then.
Okay, well, we sure appreciate it.
Yeah. And what I will try to do is everything of course, if you got something right, that's good. But when I write something for the paper, I try to be accurate. So whoever I'm interviewing, I pass on the story to them before I send it to the paper, so if there's any mistakes. And so would Dwight be the guy to send it to? I mean, the article I write.
Yeah, why don't we do that? Yeah, that'd be great. Is that okay, Dwayne?
Oh, sure, I'll
Yeah.
forward it to you guys.
Yeah, we can all take a look at it. It'd be great.
Okay, and just also the airport board members' names, so I have that.
Sure.
So sorry for interrupting. All right, thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Take care.
Anyway, I don't have anything else to add on the construction update unless somebody else has something to add. But the long and short of it is it's open and it's working and it's beautiful. Okay, we have a budget line item, and this has come up at the last couple budget meetings regarding our internet connections at the Townsend Airport. We added a cellular line for the fuel service, which I can't remember is like $60 a month or something like that. We still have an internet, a land-based or microwave-based Montana internet. And I think that is for the cameras, and it's something like $63 a month. And I actually contacted Montana Aeronautics to verify that we do in fact need that for those cameras. The question was, are we doubling up on internet service? So the option we have is, and I'm still waiting to hear back because the guy that knows the deal, Bob and I talked about this on the phone, but the guy that knows the deal at Montana Aeronautics is out for a bit here, but he'll be back on Monday. Anyways, I want to verify first with him that we do in fact need that land-based internet for $63 a month. It's not a big deal, but if we can eliminate 60-some bucks a month, that would be great. Recall that we went with cellular service for the fuel because we decided that would be the most reliable. There was a few points of failure. We can use the existing internet for that, but then we have a repeater between the two with connections and batteries and anyway, more points of failure, and given our track record with fuel, we just decided we're going to go with the most reliable method possible. So I guess not a lot to decide here unless somebody feels very strongly that we should get rid of the cellular service and combine it with the other ground-based service, but that's where we're at on the internet.
I do have a comment on that. They've put in the fiber optic out, and they're out, like in the area where I live. I've been connected up to it already. There's quite a few more of them there. I don't know how far they've came to town with that, but I know they are coming into Townsend with that. And it's 500 by 5 or something. They call it an 800 connection, I don't know. But I don't know, are they down to you yet? You haven't seen them down there connecting internet service, huh? Or plowing it in? Okay. But anyway, what I was going to mention is down the road here, I see on the side of their pickups, they're also advertising telephone service. So maybe a place a year or so down the road here, we can combine them two services with Montana Internet and
Yeah.
save some bucks.
Yeah. Did you have something to add?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, the modem that was out in the pilot's lounge is gone now. And I know that Montana Internet was out there. I was at Aeronautics last week, and Karen pulled up the camera, and I was like, are the cameras working? The modem is gone. And the cameras are working. I'm not sure how, because I don't know where the modem is. The modem was in the corner of the pilot's lounge there, and it's gone. And there's just some cable left there now. So, but the cameras are up and running. So, yeah,
I don't know, magic.
yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah. I know when
We'll have to
they
get a
put
12-year-old out there to figure it out.
when they put the fiber in, they had to change my modem also.
Yeah.
Instead of the little black one that was like that, it's a tower about like that and about 3 inches in diameter, white, and it tells you a whole raft of stuff right on it.
So yeah,
Cameras are working.
yeah, the cameras are working, and Steve is probably the same guy. You know, Steve was gone from Aeronautics last week. So, but she was like, well, when he gets back, we'll have to talk to him. But there was no modem in the corner, so I don't know how it's working. But
All right, well, anyways, so I guess the point is there's not a lot to decide, but there is an opportunity maybe to delete an expense there. We'll keep looking at it, so. Okay, moving along. We have a review, discussion, decision on a hangar lease request from Cameron Hassler, contractor with the Department of Defense.
Hello, I'm Cameron Hassler. So yeah, I'm a contractor for a client of mine who is a contractor of the Department of Defense. He's interested in building roughly a 70 by 100 hangar. The clear space of the hangar would be 70 by 80. And then he'd have some office spaces and a restroom on the side, as well as a kitchenette. Out of that, he would be operating. They're doing testing on quadcopter UAVs. They have a fully autonomous 172 Cessna, and then he's going to house a Bell 406 helicopter in there. So we're just kind of feeling out the ideas and seeing where everybody was thinking and if this was a possibility, and he'd like to pursue that.
Okay. Regarding hangar availability, is it 70 wide by 100 deep?
It's 100 wide by 70 deep.
Okay, 70 deep by
That'd
100.
be 2 spaces essentially.
Yeah.
But I don't know, we don't have utilities other than electrical
Well, that's my
designated for those, do we?
yeah. That's my first question. Is regarding the restroom? I don't think we have the ability to put in a septic out there, do we?
There's just,
You can.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to work at the cemetery.
Okay, so it's a
Don't tell you whether
possibility.
you can or not.
Okay,
Okay.
so that would, I guess, be something to
Mhm.
talk to the county about.
Okay.
what about independent well? Do you remember anything on that? Or would it be hooked into existing?
I don't think it's a problem.
Okay.
Okay.
To be determined by the county sanitarian.
Okay.
I think size-wise, we'd have to put them on the south end of the new taxiway to go 70 deep.
Wouldn't work up here on that old FBO space.
Well,
Wouldn't work there, would it?
if probably need that extra depth for if there was a well and a septic for the,
Yeah, could be.
because your well and your septic have to be 100 feet apart, at least, if I remember correctly.
So I guess what you're needing right now is the temperature on, if this is doable and whatnot.
Yes.
Does anybody have any objection?
No.
So what I would say is go ahead and put in a lease request with Abra, and she'll get you all the information on the requirements and the procedure and whatnot. Talk to the county about their requirements as far as water and septic and
So the plat that we have is not infirm on those sites, is it?
as far as the depth that's available.
Depth and width. So if someone was to, that was just a spitball, for lack of better terminology, of what could fit in there, correct?
Yeah, now that it's built and we have a center line to measure off of, we ought to go measure exactly how deep we have available on each side.
I don't remember if Lance said that those were static, or we could.
No, these are
change it.
placeholders
Yeah,
that we have written down here.
okay.
So that's some homework we'll have to do for you, is to make sure we got, or just measure out exactly how much space there is as far as depth goes.
Okay.
100 wide, I don't think is a problem. Do you guys see a problem there?
I don't see a problem there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we will do that. I will make a note that we need to get exact measurements.
And he's interested in building in the spring, so we're not in a huge rush for this.
Sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If there was, oh, excuse me,
Go
sorry.
ahead, no, go ahead.
If there was additional utilities, say well and septic, and then your drain field, that may play out. And would the county bill based, like a regular one is just on the square footage of the hangar, would the county be leasing that added ground also due to the capital improvements on it?
Yeah, that's what you're gonna have to figure out, is there a way to put the drain field in a way that isn't gonna take up more hangar space? Because we wouldn't want to take up more frontage on the taxiway for that. So is there a space behind it or
Maybe
to
if
the
we,
east of
if we
it?
use those two sites there, maybe along the east side.
Yeah.
And we've used like a Presby system down in Helena, down at that airport, and it's pretty minimally invasive compared to your traditional drain fields. So that might be an option to look
Yeah, I mean,
into.
I couldn't think it would be too extensive because you're essentially just one bathroom and there's no bedrooms or anything else that they use
Yeah.
for calculations.
Yeah.
But still, it would have to be, if someone else wanted to put in a well of some sort, and you start going down that road, then the next one would have to be another 100 feet or whatever. And I know it's 100 feet from any top water. Your well has to be, and septic and well have to be at least 100 feet.
I got a suggestion.
Yeah, go ahead.
You go up to the mic.
Here's my suggestion on that. I think that all the other hangar owners on that side of the airport may need water. So why don't we put in one well, like say on that west end? And that would give you your separation from all the other hangars. The hangar owners can share the cost of the well.
If you attach
You're
to
saying
it.
on the west ends for all the new hangars here?
Yeah, there's that one, there's this
Put a community well in.
this place down here where you can't put nothing, right? So put it down in this area. And then it can service all these hangars.
A well here.
Yeah, someplace like that.
But your flow goes from that way. I mean, at least my house, the flow comes
Well,
from the southeast to the
yeah,
northwest.
whatever. I'm just saying that would
Yeah.
probably be an okay place if you can find water there. I don't think we'll have any trouble doing it, but that way that your separation would be away from everybody else who wouldn't have a problem with your septic.
Yeah.
Just be a pipeline running through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're specifically talking about a well, not a septic.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Septic system.
Community pressure tank and everything, yeah.
And just like we have on the other.
Well house, yeah,
You know,
some
so
sort.
that way now you got water on both sides of it.
Yeah, we'd have to figure out how we would do that as far as, do we require everybody to buy into it, or if they choose to buy into it, you know,
Maybe not.
then
Maybe
they
the
split
county
it,
wants to own it.
right?
Options.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's probably a good way to do that.
Yeah, because we're about maxed out on our current little
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah, and if you wanted to put any kind of irrigation or fire prevention system,
Yeah.
also you'd have to have, you know, so it's not a bad idea by any means.
Well, and you're,
So, yeah, think about it.
You're
Maybe
close
county
to
owned it,
the,
might be a nice deal.
Part of the lease.
where's our, ag works down there, or,
Right here.
yeah, you'd be close right there.
Yeah. So I guess to answer your question is, we're obviously open to it and we're open to solutions. You know, we're open to working with what works. So you'll have some homework and research to do on your part. We have a little bit to do on our part. And get the information from Abra and we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I have a copy of a blank lease and hanger check sheet, and I can give you tonight, or I can
Okay.
email it to you, whichever is, if I have your email, whichever is.
Alrighty. Yes, I'll write my email down. That's
Perfect.
probably the best way to
Perfect.
get in contact
Cool.
with you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I add something? Excuse me. The sanitarian is Megan Bullock,
Okay.
and she's the sanitation
Mhm.
on the first floor. And I would call me, because she's usually on Mondays and Fridays.
Okay.
But just kind of to give her a very early start, I want to look at what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'll just add another comment, Mr. Chairman, is that we did have a tenant that has a spray business that actually had talked about putting in a well for his use on that south end. So that might be something that
We
would
were
work
just
out
looking-
together
we were just
with
looking at
everybody,
that.
so.
There's another, I may have misunderstood. There's another person interested in a hangar on that side that wants water? Is that right?
Well, not a hangar, was wanting to was asking about a water well a few months
More of a
ago.
washdown area.
Yeah, a washdown area and.
Oh,
and
an
for-
egg operator.
An egg operator.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
missed that.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, he was wondering about getting a well in there, so.
sure.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. Any other comments on the hangar stuff?
Is this for the Air Force helicopter?
No, so he's a contractor of the Department of Defense. Specifically, the company would be Leidos. So- and then
So
he'll
it's a commercial entity.
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Okay, we also have an agenda item on here that I think is basically the same conversation. Next steps for hangar development at Uniform 8. Do you recall what the discussion was, where we're at on that?
Well, Mr. Chairman, at one point you
Said leave it on the
we
agenda?
tabled it. What happened was Bob asked you to table it because we weren't sure how the hangar, the people that wanted to build hangars were to be informed that what's the next step. And so not to leave them hanging, but to say, okay, you can get me your lease now that airport's done.
Yes, okay, so in fact, I have an email from Jess Lancelot. Is it Lancelot or Lancelot?
Lancello.
Lancello. I butchered it. I'm sorry, Jess. Anyway, she has a email one of the topics on her email speaks to this, and I think it was very well written. So I'll just read that paragraph from her. It says, "I've been contacted." This is now from Jess Lancello in an email. "I've been contacted as to what the next steps are for the people on the list. At this time, now the runway is back open for the most part, and I think now is the time a letter be sent to all the people on the list, letting them know that there is no longer a waiting list. If they would like to proceed, then they could need to contact Abra for the application and lease agreement. Please make sure it is clear in the letter that the proper steps they must take for building a hangar." And I guess I agree with her that there is no waiting list now. There are hangar spots available, and so we just revert back to the first come, first serve. When you give us a completed application and lease, we'll discuss it as they come. unless anybody else has something to add to that, then I think that we just do that. We contact, she said a letter, but however you want to contact, email or phone call, the people on the list and just letting them know that there is no list and they're welcome to apply it.
How many people are on what was the list?
Great question.
And then I guess, you know, tentatively, now that we have potentially looking into capital improvement of a well and septic things, that could put where people want to build a hangar, that could affect that also.
12 with Cameron would be 13.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So on that, how many spots did Lance have tentatively laid out just for perspective?
10 plus an FBO hangar plus 1 to 2 in the old spot.
The old FBO?
Well, recall that last piece that we were saving for an old,
Yeah.
what we call the old FBO spot that is now available for 2 small hangars or 1 larger hangar. So that's available. He's got listed 10 here, which is, you know, a little fluid. And then the large future FBO spot.
Okay.
So the
So
long and short of
theoretically,
it
we're
is,
already at max if everyone was to agree,
which they won't.
which they won't. So, but do we send it out in approval and in list order that they were in
Application order.
application order? Okay.
Because
And
it's,
you
it's all
have that
available now.
effective dates, right, of when people inquired?
I had the dates about when people inquired on the priority list for the last spot that you had.
Okay.
But it's no longer
It's
relevant.
no longer, what he's saying is the
Yeah.
first person that gets me a lease, that's the first person.
Yeah,
that
unless
gets
somebody
the spot.
disagrees with that, it
Okay,
seems to
yeah.
make sense to me.
I was just wondering how it was,
I think
Yes.
perfect.
how it was
Yes.
gonna work.
I'm just
Do
using
you
this list
remember
to call people.
what the width of that is?
You know, we discussed that 2 months ago. I probably have it written down. He's asking about the old FBO size. We had that listed and it was something like, it'll probably take me too long to find it.
So if this young man comes in with a lease tomorrow for that, then he can supersede anyone that was on there? Okay, just wondering how that works.
So I need to give them.
Just has to abide by the,
Well, they've been on the list and they've had all the opportunity.
And I'm
But-
gonna tell you right now,
Unveiled.
there's one person on here I have not heard from at all. I haven't been able to get a hold of.
Okay.
He's in California, so I think he has not answered any.
I'm just wondering how long, I mean, do we leave the requests open, or do we put a timeline on when we send them, hey, it's ready, if you want to sign a lease, 60 days, do we have that in the bylaws? I
Thanks,
just
David.
don't want anyone coming back and saying, hey, I was on the list.
Could you repeat the question? I think I missed that.
I'm just wondering if there's a amount of time when we just throw it out to everyone that was on the list, say, you know, we'd like to hear back from you in 80, 90 days, 75 days. I don't know if there's a time frame. That way that we don't.
I don't think so because
Okay.
it's been open all this time.
Okay.
You have it here?
And I sent them the lease. as
Oh, there it
soon
is.
as
the old
they on the
FBO,
list and the check
old
sheet.
FBO sizes.
Okay.
I sent them the lease.
So maybe a friendly reminder
Maybe-
that's, you know, now's the time
I just
to
read it here.
Oh,
Right here.
yes.
now's the time
Yeah.
to pull the trigger, for lack of
Yeah,
better
there's
terminology.
your 100 by 70. You got 2 hangars, 50 each by 35. There's your 100 wide and 50 deep.
Well,
Or 70
it'd be
deep.
70 this way then.
No, this is the front. Be the 100 wide here.
At the old FBO.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's depth, it doesn't have the depth with the 10-foot clearance between the,
No, it doesn't.
It says 35, oh, that'd be 35 each, not,
he wants
2
70 as the
potential
depth,
hangars
yeah.
could be as large as 50 wide by 35 deep, so that would be
that would be side by
50.
side.
50. That would be like this.
Yep,
So his hangar will not fit there.
yep.
Okay. Okay, so are we clear on that? Are we
Yeah.
on the same page? So there is no longer a list
It's a first come, first served.
first come, first serve. When we get an application, then we'll review that application and on down the line.
And email is sufficient as far as notification goes for it. If they've been using email, then that should be sufficient. So yeah, I'd send it out, including this young gentleman that was here, and I'd just say it's ready to go. Let's see who wants to play.
Okay.
That would be my.
Okay, any further discussion on the hangar development topic? Thank you, Robert. Okay, hangar certificates of insurance. Do you have an update for us?
Yeah, I have everyone's but 4. I have one question, and Dwight and I talked about this. A couple of them have sent to me, I just want clarification from the board, coverage of their aircraft instead of coverage of the hangar. And I'm not certain how much to push that. In my understanding, it's like your garage, your car is covered, but your garage is also covered with your house. So I'm assuming the plane and the garage, the hangar are not on the same thing.
Two items.
Yep.
So how much do you want me to go, whoops, you gave me your hair.
Yeah, we'd need it for the physical location.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I was just making sure.
Well, we can send them 10.2 of the.
I did.
You did.
In the email, I copied and pasted that right in there, as per your lease, this is what it says.
Yep. So just reply to them that, you know,
Okay.
thanks, but we need insurance on your hangar.
Okay. So I only have 4 left, plus the 2 that,
And it has to read the county as an
additionally
additionally insured
Yep.
individual. Yeah.
You probably already stated that, but
Yes.
if not,
Restate it.
restate it.
okay, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a discussion decision on the fly-in conversation. I think right now we pursued the Fall Fest, or doing it in conjunction with Fall Fest pretty hard, and ran into some, I guess, some roadblocks or some concerns. Also, again, Jess has written a paragraph on that, so I will read that to you here. And Jess says, at our previous meeting, we postponed this topic to this month, and I feel at this time we're down to the wire and making a last-minute thing to force this fly-in. I'd like to see us be successful at this event, and although I do feel it during Fall Fest would attract lots of people, I don't feel it's the best time to pull it off on our side of things. Having a brand new runway and apron is exciting and should be shared properly. I'm willing to head this event, but would like to see it happen next spring or summer when it can be properly advertised with the aviation community and our local community. I've also been in contact with Rocky Mountain Rough Hands 4-H group, and they are still really interested in doing the breakfast part, but I also feel it's last minute. They are in support of a June timeframe. It's my suggestion we wait until June. That way we can plan accordingly and get some cool things to come in for the event to showcase at the airport. I guess the biggest thing with having it in conjunction with Fall Fest is transportation.
Transportation.
And we don't want to be in competition with the existing food vendors, and there was some concern with the existing people doing it, which is legitimate, and we don't want to take anything away from that. So then it became, well, do we have some sort of shuttle between, and it just doesn't feel like a fly-in at that point. And so I think everybody agreed that maybe May or June might be a pretty good time to do
Mr.
this.
Chairman,
Yes.
may I make a proposal? I'll put a thing on the board here. I move that we postpone having a fall fly-in and make it a late spring, early summer fly-in. And we can pick it up from there. We can get everything, all the
Pick it up in the new year.
advertising out and get all the bases covered. That airport will still be new. Maybe a few snow blades on it, but nothing bad.
So we have a motion to postpone the opening fly-in for late spring, early summer. Is there a second?
I second.
Any further discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great. Okay, the next item is a discussion decision on the minimum takeoff turnouts at 8 Uniform 9. That's the Canyon Ferry Airport.
I will explain that again. And when I noticed this going on was when we had plenty of planes over there during the 4th of July, Labor Day, etc. There were 3 instances that I took note of. One of them taking off, which was a local individual. He no more than lifted off, and in 192, no more than lifted off, and he had about a 30-degree bank and headed out over the lake. You know, whether it was to get there in a quick time, I have no idea, but he leaves himself open to a departure stall also. The worst one was an individual that was not from here, and I do not know where he was from, but I was standing out in front of my house visiting with my neighbor, and he took off from the north to the south, and he's just chugging along there at about half throttle. And I said, look at this guy, I don't know what the heck he's doing, but this isn't normal. When he got down about where a little bit to the north of where the picnic area is there on the runway, he put the throttle in, come up 30-degree bank right out over the parking lot and the boat launching area with all the people there. The other one I seen took off from the south and probably, I'm going to say he was 50 feet or thereabouts off the ground, and he broke out over all the houses. Still climbing, and I don't think he had an excessive bank angle, but we want to be good neighbors just like we want them to be good neighbors. So I think maybe it's time to step in front of this and leave a minimum height before you depart the runway headings. I can't imagine if that guy would have, because I didn't think he was going to make it. I mean, you start sticking something like this. I mean, he wasn't 100 feet off the ground. I don't think the upper end of the upper wing was 100 feet off the ground. He was showing off, undoubtedly, but that doesn't release us from responsibility or liability.
Are you proposing this as a safety or noise abatement or all of the above?
Combination.
So a minimum safe turning?
Fly
And-
runway heading until
Runway
altitude.
heading, fly runway headings till, and I say minimum of 400 feet. That's the, number I just picked out of the air. Some of them want you to go 800 feet, but I don't think that's necessary. But
For noise abatement.
Yes.
I am concerned on how this would be enforceable.
If it's on the records, I don't think we have an avenue to pursue as far as enforcing, other than if we see somebody do it, we can mention it to them. If we have an aircraft number, we can get a hold of them and ask them not to do that and make sure it's all documented.
Okay, has there been public comment or complaint or concern voiced
We've
that
had
we know of?
We've had some concerns over the people flying too low over the housing. I know somebody talked to you about that.
Yeah, that
And-
was the parachute thing.
Was that the parachute thing? Was Pat Lindbergh?
Isn't that what we've all been trained at, is to?
Maintain runway heading.
Fly to, I mean, that's already kind of.
It's in your check ride.
Yeah.
You have to be 500 feet away from any structure, if I remember correctly.
Except for the purpose of takeoff and landing. I'm concerned about us diving into the realm of attempting to be an enforcement arm of the FAA. I don't think we have any jurisdiction to tell people how to fly Part 91 or whatever part they're flying under. Typically, Part 91 specifically states the pilot in command is the final authority to the operation of the aircraft. Also says you can be within 500 foot of a structure, vessel, or other property for the purpose of takeoff and land. I'm also concerned on how do we measure this? So did he turn out at 300 or 500 feet? I don't think we have any way of telling.
Anything's better than 100 feet.
Do we have the
Yes.
resources? In other words, who is going to enforce this? And then where do we end? Did they check their oil before they took off? Because that could be unsafe. How much fuel do they have? Do they have appropriate reserves to get to their destination plus 30 minutes? And if it's at night, it's got to be 45 minutes. I am very concerned that we're going to dive into telling people how to operate their own aircraft.
For the noise abatement thing.
That's
I
a
think
different
we have
story.
I think we have a good platform to stand on there.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's a different conversation. I think noise abatement is different than safety, and somebody's out hot dogging.
I don't know how you're gonna stop that.
I don't think you are.
They'll stop themselves right in the ground one day, but
But that's up to the
if we-
FAA.
If we have the.
If they're breaking
noise
in a
abatement
federal
thing,
aviation regulation, the FAA is there to enforce the law.
Which a
Not,
concerned citizen would have to,
would have to
for
turn
lack
in.
of better terms, videotape it and get the numbers and do the legwork.
Yeah. I mean, you could say the same thing about weather. Is the wind appropriate? Did the person take off with the tailwind? Well, the pilot in command is going to make that
Yes,
determination.
it is.
Is the ceiling high enough? Well, we don't have weather reporting out there. It's Class G airspace. It's at 1,000 foot and clear clouds, if I remember correctly. Who's measuring the clouds? I mean, how far do we want to go down this rabbit hole?
It's a
That's
slippery-
my personal
It's a
opinion on that.
slippery slope.
And I say that respectfully. I don't mean to be argumentative. But I do want to offer that counterpoint.
Well, and like I said, it's a combination. We're trying to keep an airport there, and we want the community to go along with that.
Absolutely.
And I think we need to show some respect and ask the pilots to maintain, go to 400 feet above ground before they do any turnouts for noise abatement.
Yeah, and this is nothing new. I mean, backcountry aviation has been
Put it
dealing
right
with this.
here this next year.
Backcountry aviation has been dealing with this for years. There's backcountry airports, and most people are respectful of other users of backcountry as far as abating the noise and whatnot. And some people aren't respectful, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
an ongoing conversation. I understand that. Again, Jess did write in about this topic. She apologizes for not being here, but she did write an email on this topic, and she wanted to be heard on it, so I'll read it here. Although I can understand and respect the point being brought to the board, I am against voting for this restriction. I feel the Canyon Ferry Airport is not an airport that gets enough traffic that warrants such a change with the FAA. There has been an increase in the traffic at Canyon Ferry Airport because of runway closure, but I foresee this will die off now that the runway is back open. An isolated event of someone taking off and turning quickly over a subdivision neighborhood should not be a reason for us to change the procedures. The city of Townsend is a much more populated area, and we do not have, nor do I think is necessary, to have such a restriction at that airport. Please make it known that if this decision goes to a vote, I strongly disagree with it. So that is from Jess.
I do disagree with her. I think
Okay.
we have to maintain good relations with the community.
Okay.
I've been doing my utmost since I've been there the last 15 years to do that. And to this point, we've only had a couple complainers and they've quieted down.
Okay. So I guess the next step would be probably to make a motion, and then we can further discuss and vote.
Okay. I move that we put a note in the Montana Airport Directory and possibly a sign down by the south end of the runway, to maintain runway heading to 400 feet AGL for noise abatement.
Okay, so the motion is to place a note in the airport facility directory and a sign to maintain runway heading to 400 AGL before turning. Did I state that correctly?
There, you can read it there if you want to change it. This is at Phillipsburg. That's one that I noticed that they had a noise abatement.
Okay, so to put it on record here, at Phillipsburg Airport, there is a note in the remarks of the facility director. It says, departure climb to 1,000 foot AGL before turns. Runway, right traffic runway 16, noise abatement. Enter pattern west of Highway 1. So the relevant part there being departure climb to 1,000 AGL, which is above ground level, before it turns. So that's the type of note you would like in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't ask for the 1,000. I believe 400 feet would be ample.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Before I second, I'm wondering about, we haven't heard any other complaints from the general public come in, have we? I mean, I understand your concern, I'm not trying to, but this is, I've only heard of one, and that's it. And I don't know about changing airport rules on one. If it was a constant thing, I would be more on board, but I haven't heard any complaints from the other public.
If I hear any more complaints, I'll ask them to come to the airport board.
Yeah, I would appreciate that, because I'm not going to second until I do that. I don't believe it's worthy of changing things
Okay.
up until we actually have more concerned citizenry.
Okay.
Well, you can second it so we can have discussion about it.
Okay. I'll second it based on that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add, the standard procedure is left downwind for coming in, then landing on, was it 3-1? So that does put us right over the housing, the subdivision area. Well, I wouldn't want to change the standard procedure for left downwind traffic. I'd be happy to put a note in the gazebo down there, for pilots when they stop there. Please consider what Bob was talking about as a note down there if you'd like. I can do that. We have room on the bulletin board there.
So to clarify, you're offering to put a note up to I guess be respectful of the community and your procedures, something to that effect.
Yeah, if that would help.
As far as
But that would just catch the local pilots.
Well, we get a lot of pilots that are come in. They're using it for touch and goes, practice, and they stop to go to the bathroom and stuff, and they
would see it.
they hang out there for a second and read the little messages we have there. I'd be happy to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess sitting here, I don't know how we would enforce it. I don't want to be the enforcer or
Well,
the phone calls.
I don't think that we have to be the reinforcer. I mean, when you go into a airport, if you're flying into, let's say you're going to Shoto, do you look at this book
Yeah, I do.
and,
Yeah,
and read the
yeah,
remarks and so on,
mhm,
and abide by them?
yeah,
I think most every pilot does.
yeah. Well, we're supposed to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
check NOTAMs.
So that's the
We're
reason
supposed
I was
Yeah.
suggesting we
Yeah.
put a note in that, in Montana Aeronautics.
And that deadline to put things in there is this month, by the
Oh.
way. Yeah.
Very timely. Any further discussion?
Do you suppose we could put a note in the thing just asking pilots to maintain runway heading for 400 feet for noise abatement? If we can put something in there, doesn't have to be a permanent thing.
So note in the directory to maintain runway heading to 400 AGL for noise abatement.
Isn't that your motion? So I'm sorry, is that
That's the motion. The only thing he added was for noise abatement. I guess if you would like to amend the motion, we could do it that way.
I would amend the motion to do that.
Okay, so now the motion reads, note in directory and assign to maintain runway heading to 400 AGL, noise abatement. Do I need a second on amended?
I think you do.
Yes?
Yeah, you do.
I'll second.
Okay, so the amended motion has been
So
seconded.
more discussion.
Yep.
Yes, please.
As long as we aren't changing traffic patterns and it's more of a courtesy request,
So, point of order, so you're gonna have to vote on your first one first,
Oh,
and then
okay,
it's still on the table.
Okay,
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Well, I'm going to call for the question then on the first amendment. So now, I'm sorry, the first motion. So the first motion simply states note in the directory and sign to maintain runway heading to 400 AGL.
You did not say for noise abatement on that first
That's
one.
correct.
Okay, I wrote it down, but okay.
Okay. So all in favor of the first motion, say aye.
aye.
Opposed?
nay.
Nay. Okay, motion fails. Now, the second amended motion says it's a note in the directory and a sign to maintain runway heading to 400 AGL for noise abatement. That is a motion that has been seconded. Further discussion.
That's not a requirement though, right? We're not,
We're just asking them to do that. I don't think,
If it
I don't think
reads-
so any of them in here are a requirement.
okay.
It's a request.
So, there's a much larger neighborhood by the Townsend Airport that gets much more traffic by more and different and larger aircraft.
I live in it.
So are we going to deal with that next? I feel like we have a solution that's looking for a problem. That's how I feel. I understand the concern, and by all means, people ought to be respectful, just like when people ripped it by my house in a side-by-side, throwing a ton of dust in the air. I'm not very appreciative of it. I don't know that this is warranted. I just hate to see restrictions go up at what we are calling a backcountry airport. Again, I don't support people being disrespectful of the community, and we can certainly address those issues as they come up. But that is my opinion on it.
I agree with your opinion.
Any further discussion?
Question on the motion?
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Nay. Motion fails. Thank you. And by all means, bring complaints to the board.
Yeah,
Or
we can
encourage
address it
people
in the
I'm
future.
gonna have the people come in.
Okay.
I mean,
Which is appropriate.
you
Yeah,
need
I
to
mean,
talk to them. I don't need to talk to them.
no, and that's, then it would be on the record and then the community would have its voice
Yeah.
in the community's airport.
And as a side note too, I think a lot of questions, concerns, and complaints come to Dwight, and of course Dwight is so gracious and helpful and good-spirited and whatnot. I would encourage Dwight to just take any negativity directly to the board, because it certainly isn't your responsibility to be an enforcer or to take any negative energy from people. Just tell them, just refer them to the board. That's what we're here for. There's nowhere in your job description that you gotta get beat over the head by somebody that's crabby at you. So just, I mean, we just wanna protect you from any of that. That's what the board is for, and
It's
So-
not in your job description.
no. And, you know, on a related note too, it's not like the county's paying for your cell phone. So, you know, I mean, if you're being harassed by somebody, block them. Tell them, yeah, I mean, at first,
It
of
can
course,
go up
tell
the
them to come to the
chain. Yeah,
board, but
just
you're not
refer up the chain
under any
custody.
obligation on your own spare time, on your own dollar, to be harassed by people. And I'm not saying that's happening, but I just want to make that clear, but that concerns should come to the board, you know, and I don't want you to get
Yeah.
discouraged, I guess, so.
And as I think a standard thing is if people have complaints about specific pilots, that they should know, or we can relay to them that you need to best get the tail number so that we can address specific people.
Yeah, and I've had situations come up to where, you know, people have called with concerns about how a particular pilot was operating or operator was operating. Well, they shouldn't be doing this, and they shouldn't be doing that, and this should be illegal, and that's fine to call in with those concerns, and we'll just, we'll take those concerns as they come. In this particular one that I'm thinking about, I referred them to the FAA, and the FAA can take action or not. But we had no
Again, the
responsibility
jurisdiction.
Yeah, we had no jurisdiction. This happened to be off airport, what this person was doing, but talk to the FAA, and either it's illegal or it's not, or, you know, whatever, but
Even an FAA contacting a pilot will make them think a little bit,
yeah.
especially if they, you know, they're
Or it could be that it's a perfectly acceptable, legal, and appropriate action,
Yeah.
and the person just didn't know that. But, you know, the way to do that is to send it to the appropriate
Chain of
body.
command.
So, okay. Dwight, do you have a report for us?
Okay, Dwight Thompson again, airport manager. So the first thing I had on my thing was the airport directory update, so I will make on the Canyon Ferry, we have a new windsock out there, so we'll get that added on the north end to the directory. Mary Bell is sending in the new template to Aeronautics so they can set up a new directory for 8U8. So, so that's is due this month. So both of those will be updated then. Both the vehicles, the pickup that I use and the courtesy car, have not had any maintenance on them, oil change, since I've been doing this. Guidance from you guys if we need to get oils changed, or you know, it's
Do you have a log of maintenance for them?
I don't. There's no logs, and so
We need a ground zero for them.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't
yeah, I
think
agree.
anything's been done on that airport courtesy car since we've got it.
Yeah, it's
That's a good
it's
thought.
it runs good and things, but maybe we should get the
Yeah.
well, just it's got a lot of miles on it, but just the age of.
Well, when the oil gets thin, it can
Yeah,
really
yeah.
tear an engine up.
So I did talk to Hedstrom's, and he'd be happy to take a look at them and just get the oil change, just a basic maintenance. If you want me to proceed.
Probably needs to be done once a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prior to going into winter, you don't.
Yeah,
want that
that's why I
oil
thought
in it.
before winter.
It probably
yeah.
doesn't get 5,000 miles a year on it, I bet, or
On what?
100.
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Dwight's pickup might get more than 500.
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe just once a year, I think, is probably appropriate. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, but it's just neither one of them haven't had
Yeah.
anything done.
October's
So
a
we'll start
great time.
we'll start a maintenance log on both of them and stuff.
Good thought.
Okay.
Yeah, and once we do, I mean, even if we had to, you can look in the minutes of the paid claims, because it would have the mileage on any of the receipts. So, yeah, general maintenance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll get that done on both of those. Tires seem to be doing good on both rigs and stuff. So yeah, it's good. So the 99s, the Women's Pilots Association, they're going to come now the 27th of September to do the fuel and elevation painting on the runway.
September which?
27th is a Monday, so they're going to come. And I reached out back to them. Be happy to give them some donuts or lattes or something for the ladies. But if you're not doing anything on that day, if you want to come out and say thank you, it might be kind of nice.
Where are they out of?
I think they're it's a Montana association. I think they're all over the state.
Last time I talked to him, I believe the president was in Bozeman. I don't know where they are now.
Yeah. They used to have a hangar in Bozeman, and they kind of was going good, and then something happened, and they kind of fizzled out. But
they're
yeah,
I know because we were going to get the rocks painted, and then we got the Boy Scouts to paint the rocks at 8U9.
But the organization kind of fizzled out there for a while, but they're trying to build and do things. So this is one of the things they do is they donate they get the paint from aeronautics, and they donate their time, and they all show up here, and I guess they've been doing a lot of it. They sent me a picture of another one that they did this summer. It looks really nice. So the only thing I think we need to change is that we have a new elevation, and I don't remember what that is.
Lance said it changed by 2 feet.
By 2 feet, yeah.
Okay. Updated number. Might as well.
So I'll try to get the correct elevation there for them.
Did you mean October 27th by chance? That's a Monday.
Oh. Yeah, that is Monday. I wrote it in October. It's actually the 27th of September. It's a Saturday.
Okay,
good,
Saturday.
Yeah, good pickup. I know it's September. Yeah, that was my fault.
And
Thank you.
that's just in the apron area.
Yeah. They won't do anything on the runway.
So is there any need for NOTAM? Probably not.
Yeah, I could put one in there for just painting on the. Yeah, I could do that.
I'd make sure it wasn't raining before I sent the NOTAM in.
And that's a tentative date that they had. But yeah, it is. That is a Saturday. So okay, well, that makes more sense. Okay, and as I mentioned, the windsock is up at 8U9. I had a little problem. That was an inch plate steel that I had to drill through after I goofed up things. So I had to. You'll see on the next bills, I had to buy some steel bits to go through that thing. So, but it's up, and they've had really good comments from that. One of the things that was initially on the agenda, and I took it off, I was approached by a gentleman that has the old ice cream shop, or that was the Flamingo that used to be out there. He does not want to operate a business, but he would like to try to sell it or give it away. And a thought was, would the airport board consider leasing to a tenant an area to put that ice cream shop down on the runway? And his question was a corner right on Cactus Lane and Silos Road, but he's not interested in doing it himself. He just was wondering that when he goes to try to sell this, so that's why I took it off the agenda. It was just a comment that he had.
So
just something to think about, just to plant a seed.
He's wondering if he can tell a seller that it's a possibility. Is that
Yeah, I think that's all it was. Yeah. And he's also, he has an RV4, and he'd like to start using it. He has a shop in the silos area, and he'd like to start flying that up there once the runway if the runway gets improved. He doesn't want to fly in there right now with his airplane, but he's out of Belgrade.
Small wheels.
Yeah.
For like a through the fence, or just to use the airport?
Just to use the airport, yeah. So anyway, that's what I told him
I
about.
think he lives out there. He might live towards town, like over by close to Dwight. I don't know.
Oh, he lives right in that same lot where the current Flamingo is at right now. There's
Really?
a berm there. It's a big blue building with a red top, and he owns a construction company, and that's where he lives. And,
See, the
nice-
guy that had that is the person that has this restaurant over here on the highway.
Yeah, apparently they lost it to the bank and he bought it all. So he just wants to get rid of that equipment, get it off his land. So, anyway, just something to think about. Not asking for a decision at all. But that corner it's a no use area of the airport. It is tucked in there behind the hangar line, and there's electricity
Is it
there.
the southwest or the southeast?
Southwest, yeah.
Southwest in that low spot where kind of the wash comes through.
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
end of the airport.
yeah. There'd never be a hangar or anything there.
But to access that, people would have to use the,
Well, we'd have to.
Well,
open up
yeah,
the
they
fence.
could work out some kind of a deal where they put in the fence or open it up. I don't, that's just
What's your guys' temperature on something like that?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean,
I'd like to
it'd
know more
be
details.
leasing.
yeah. There
like
is
a
none at this
hangar
point.
space.
So he just
But
was
we're
wondering
not
if that's a
leasing hangar
possibility.
spaces out
He
there.
might be able to unload
I
it
don't think
if
you'd
there's
find
some
any
if there was a
complaint
possibility.
from the community, if that was set down there and it don't have to be facing, any particular way. He could have it facing, Saddles Road, so he's picking up traffic from the people, from the boaters.
Yeah, the current location is not a real good location to operate a. But he's looking at summer operations. Somebody that's going to have that probably close to the
We used to
marina.
have a lot of people fly in for a Huckleberry ice cream cone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be
Yeah.
kind of a neat attraction
Yeah.
for the airport.
So it's just food for thought. That's all that is.
I forgot, it used to be right down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the KO.
That's right.
Yeah, that's KOA.
Yeah, and I'm currently working on the grant application, so I'll try to have that in this next month. That's all I had. So just something fun. I don't know if you had a chance to look on the website to the Ryan Field, West Glacier, outside of West Glacier. Have you looked at that field? It's open. Have you flown into it?
I tried, I was sucked in one time.
Oh yeah, I guess they have.
They had a
It's.
guy wrecked there
Yeah,
recently.
have you been into it,
Yeah.
Daryl?
Oh, they do.
Ryan Field outside of West Glacier. It's a new recreational airport. They have cabins. It's only for pilots. You can't drive into it. You can fly into it. They have cabins you can rent and barbecue grills and firewood all cut up. And but yeah, get out if you're bored some evening. Look at recreational airport association or foundation and Ryan Field, and it's something new.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat deal. They have a briefing that you're required to take to get in there, and which is just simply listening to a recording or something, I think. But looked neat. I wasn't able to make it in.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to go look at it
They
myself.
just had an accident up there.
Yeah, the guy had accidentally clipped one of the trees on the right.
Oh,
Yeah, they've had 2 accidents there, but yeah. But anyway, it looks like it's. Well, that's all I have. Is things are the airport looks wonderful, just like you had said,
Really does.
and really excited about
yeah,
that. So,
they did great.
yep,
Any questions for Dwayne? Thank you very much.
you betcha.
Fuel pricing, I don't see a need for a change. It's funny, the fuel price, thanks.
See you, Daryl.
The fuel price this year has been basically between $4.25 and $4.35 the entire year.
Almost
Hasn't
flat.
changed. That never happens. It's been a direct line all the way across the chart. Anyway, last one was $4.26, so by that math, we're, what is that, 3 cents underpriced, which I think is good. Our last fuel load was in September. Sorry, I thought you were getting my attention.
No, but I would like to verify what the price is. What the price is?
505 is what we have it at.
505, because I need to go in there and just say, yes, it's the same.
Oh,
I
yep,
do that every.
yep.
Yep, I said to him, every time I get an email on it, they still send them to me. I don't know why,
It's an outdated system.
but, yep, I sent it to Adam to go ahead and put it in.
He's talking about 100lowlead.com, but
Oh, okay. I'm on to it different ones.
yeah. No, it's still 505. I think we
Okay.
should leave it there. We have about 4,700 gallons left. So we got to get rid of about 4,000 gallons to get a 10,000, or just slightly less than that, to get a 10,000 gallon load. Our last purchase was in September of last year, so we do have 1 year old fuel. We want to move it as quickly as possible. We could get a partial load sooner if we were worried about fuel age. It would be really nice to get a 10,000 load here.
You might visit with them and see if you can get somebody to split a load with us.
Maybe I'll send an email to them, and the problem is it ups the price by about 20 cents or so, typically, to get a partial.
Well, sometimes it depends on who splits the load. Sometimes they don't,
They won't charge you.
10,000 gallon load, and you might split it, and there's 10,000 gallon price. Sometimes it's 15 cents or
Yeah.
20, whatever, yeah.
But there is no hard, fast rule, but the best practices concept is that we add fuel at least once a year. So we're at about a year now. So maybe I'll ask him if that's an option, but of course we didn't sell much fuel all summer. I actually looked it up since the airport closed. Since the airport closed and today, we averaged 15 gallons a day, which is kind of funny. But that's versus...
That's since the airport closed?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we've sold some.
we sold some
Yeah, I think we're
fuel.
selling quite a bit here lately since the airport opened back up. You know, I've had phone calls, hey, is gas really 505?
Is the runway really open?
Yeah.
Well, we've averaged 31 gallons a day since it opened.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's still with people being, like you're saying, being tepid about, well, I don't know if I can count on them because it's the closure and whatnot. So,
I still get telephone calls on that too.
okay.
Is the pump working? Yes, we've got a new system.
Ah,
Yes, the pump
it's
is
been a rough
working.
go.
Yes, it's 505.
Yeah, once we get build some
Word of mouth, yeah.
word about some trust back that our system is reliable. So,
Mr. Chairman, I have a question, just out of curiosity.
Yes.
What are they using to purchase fuel? Because they're not using cards.
yeah.
They are?
Mm-hmm.
Because every statement I get is just -73 for fees, -73.90 for fees. There's no card. There's no.
Can I see that?
Yeah, is that what that is? Isn't that what I get every month? It says how much gallon, is that what that is? What is that?
Oh,
Credit card.
we no longer use Big Sky Commerce.
Okay, they keep sending me, okay,
Wow.
okay, all right. So-
Oh, that's right. So they're not charging us anything. They're just giving us a amount processed. Would you double check that?
Yeah.
Because we should not be getting any bill from Big Sky Commerce. We're now using Heartland Payment System.
Yeah, they get their bill paid off the credit card.
Okay, because I get this in my county mailbox
Yeah.
every single month, and I get a copy to Melissa. So she should be looking at, okay, I'll check.
Yeah, our fees are
Thank you.
deducted right out of what they deposited, is
Okay.
the way I understand it. Okay.
All right, thanks.
But anyway, just for comparison, last summer we were averaging 45 gallons a day for the exact same time period. So,
Considerably less fuel sales.
yep. So hopefully that comes back up and we get some good weather.
Get some nice fall weather, it can definitely come back up.
And again, just for the sake of, putting this on the public record, it's not that we're, rooting for sales because we're money hungry for the airport. It's not a big revenue stream for the airport. Number one, it's a service to the community to have the fuel available, and we want to make sure we provide that. And number two, we got to go through the fuel or it gets old. So they kind of go hand in hand. So just want to put that out there.
Is, something along that line, just for discussion purposes, if, when you visit with the fuel concessionaire, if they are willing to make some sort of a adjustment on price for 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 gallons, whatever, I'd be in favor of taking a look at that, so we'd have fresh fuel.
Okay.
That year-old fuel is not a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, I will contact them. Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Would the board consider dropping fuel price to try to get rid of some of this fuel? So, we're getting, the summer flying is coming to an end.
Right.
Traffic may be a little lower, but if the fuel price was, I think we are, I don't know, we are in the area, I think we're low.
I think we're low.
If you dropped it by 10 cents People seeing it under $5 might generate a higher volume, maybe.
I don't
I
know.
don't know, I just said.
But let's see what he can come up with a fuel concessionaire, because it's considered a brand new load of fuel when you add new fuel to it. That regenerates it, so,
As far as where everybody else is at, I've been watching it. We are on the very bottom end. There, I think there's one other airport that's 505, and that's Deer Lodge. Everybody else is upper fives, and then of course the larger airports are in the mid sixes. White Sulphur's 550 or something like that. Anyway, so we're on the very bottom end of, as far as airports within a couple hundred miles. I hate to go a lot lower than that. I mean, we're at the bottom end, and I think that's attraction enough, and we're going to sell what we're going to sell, in my opinion.
We'll find out. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It'll answer itself.
Well, September and October are often beautiful, so we'll see how sales go.
Yeah, and I don't know if you can just give it to the flight schools, because they'd fly here just to fuel up
Yeah.
and practice on a new runway.
Well, it used to be very common to see, even like the Piston Twins that burn a lot of fuel, take off out of Helena or Bozeman, stop in Townsend, and then go to wherever they're going. But I think that stopped,
well, it used to be whenever somebody rent the club plane in Helena, first thing they did was come down here and fill it up with fuel.
I mean, there's that purple and yellow Piper that comes in, that twin. It comes in quite regularly. I see it about every
a
other
Piston
day.
Twin?
Yeah. I think it's a Piper. It's old, but I think it's a time builder for someone out of Helena.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any new business? Great. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.